Okay, well, congratulations again. Another phenomenal job. And 1971, the original film came out. And we're exactly the same age. We're 8 years old when we saw this movie.
Yeah.
Do you have early memories of, did you go to see it when you were 8?
I don't remember. I didn't go see it in the cinema, but I remember seeing it at home, and it was like an annual event. You know, it was on once a year, and you'd always watch it. So yeah, I loved it growing up. I thought I loved Gene Wilder, but I'd always loved Gene Wilder's work. You know, Young Frankenstein, and you know, so on, so on.
So despite what people think about the original Willy Wonka film, these are iconic shoes to fill. Were you at all nervous about it, playing Willy Wonka?
I wouldn't say I was nervous. I mean, it was tricky, you know, in a sense, because initially you start thinking it is a very large pair of shoes to fill. So you start worrying about that, and you go, well, why don't I just make another pair of shoes? You know, just go outside of what Wilder did, and still salute what he did and appreciate what he did, but just try to take it somewhere else.
So what was the most important thing for you to get across playing this guy?
Well, just to, as I said, like for those of us who grew up at that time and know the film so well, that early Wilder film, the '71 film, every time a memory came up of that version of Wonka, I just, veer left radically, And also at the same time, we were working so closely with what Roald Dahl had written in the book. We really were faithful to that. And I felt a kind of a deep sense of responsibility to Roald Dahl and his intent, so that was very important to me.
In my humble opinion, there's no better collaboration than you and Tim Burton. Hats off. You guys should make all your movies together.
Oh, wow. Tell him that. Go tell him that.
I have told him that.
Good,
honest
good.
to God, you're just my favorite pairing. And I just want to know, what is it? What's the secret? Why does it work so well with the two of you?
Well, I mean, first, with Tim, just Tim alone, even though he's someone we've been working together since, about 16 years now. He's an old pal, but at the same time, he's a filmmaker that I admire and am astounded by his ability. What he's capable of is just astonishing. I don't know what it is. There's a strange shorthand language, that somehow works. I think it has to do with understanding, sort of similar understanding of what things that we consider absurd, growing up. Yeah.
Don't you think him and Roald Dahl, if he was still alive, they would be best friends?
I think that there couldn't be a better combination of, author and filmmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
When you walked onto that set for the first time, what overwhelmed you? Like, you must have been freaking out.
Yeah, I was. You know what it felt like? Oddly, it just felt historic in the sense that, it was like, you felt like you'd walked onto the set of The Wizard of Oz or something. You felt like you just stepped into a classic. It was that sort of big. It was enormous.
Did anything just really surprise you? This guy, he could have done CG. We've got squirrels that were trained for months, which, you must have just been like, whoa, Tim, come on,
I thought it was beautiful, the fact that we didn't go that route, the CGI route, the fact that everything was there and in person, and that the chocolate waterfall was, in fact, 30 or 40 meters high, it's madness. Yeah. Beautiful.
It is. It's just spectacular to watch it. Freddie Highmore, as I was watching this movie, all I could think of, especially being a mom, was, are there any children left as good as Charlie? And this kid is just spectacular. And obviously, you worked with him in Finding Neverland. What is it about this kid? He calls you better than chocolate, by the way.
Oh, man. Freddie's pure. He really is pure. He is so wise beyond his years. He's 13 years old now, Freddie. He's really, really sharp, super smart, very funny, got a great sense of humor. Very talented, obviously, but he's just a really good, decent human being. Mm-hmm. And, when we went to work on Finding Neverland together, I never expected that, I'd think of him as one of my best friends, you know, in the world. And I do. I love the kid. You know.
Special kid, very
No,
special.
he's very special.
So now being
Good
a
kid.
dad, do you look at scripts in a different way?
Yes and no. I think I was always making choices, even years before my kids were born. I think I was making choices in terms of the movies I did for them, because I always, from a certain point on, I decided I'm not going to do anything that could be potentially too embarrassing for my kids later when they watch, you know, when I've evaporated into smoke and they're watching my stuff. I don't want them to be ashamed.
Oh.
So.
They can never be ashamed of your work, Johnny. It's fantastic. Just very, very quickly, I have to ask you, how are things going on Pirates? Everybody's dying to know.
Everything's going great. It's been amazing. It's huge. A lot of fun, a lot of hard work, but it's been good. I think it's going to be great.